Hello students. So a very warm morning to all of you. Hope you all are having a good time. So today we will study about Newton's third law of motion. Okay. So we have already studied about the first law and the second law, momentum, force, everything. Okay. In third law we will go further and look about these things only. Momentum and force both will be there. Okay. And let's see what's the Newton's third law. So the Newton's third law says that whenever a body exerts a force on another body, the second body exerts an equal and opposite force on the first body. Okay. Whenever a body exerts a force on another body, okay, the second body exerts equal and opposite forces on the first body. So, which means if someone is applying force to something else, then that thing will also apply the same force. We will understand it. Okay. So, before going to that point, I'd like to clear a few things, like the force which the first body is applying on the second body is known as action, whereas the force exerted by the second body on the first body is called as reaction. Okay, so those are the action and reaction. Therefore we can see the another definition of Newton, that every action has equal and opposite reaction. Okay, now you can understand that definition, that every action has equal and opposite, okay, reaction. So these two things we need to keep in our mind, that action will have equal and opposite reaction. Okay, now let's understand this by the example of this picture. Here you can see that a boy is applying force on the wall. Okay, so as per the Newton's third law, the wall is also applying same force on the boy. Okay, but the boy is, so, to understand it, you better beat your hand on the wall. You will feel it. You will get hurt. Okay, how will you get hurt? You just got hurt because of the force applied by the wall on your hand, which was the reaction force. Okay, what force you applied on the wall was action, and the force applied by the wall on your hand will be reaction. The forces will be equal, but the only difference is it will have a different directions. Okay, here you can understand this by the given experiment. We have two spring balances. One spring balance is attached to the wall, and another spring balance you are pulling towards yourself. Okay, so when we will do this experiment, we can see that when we pull the first spring balance, the second spring balance shows the same reading as the first spring balance. Okay, which means you are applying the force on the first spring balance, which is action, and the second spring balance is showing you the reading, which is the reaction. Okay, so this is how we can understand that the equal and opposite forces. Here you can see the arrow mark. The 4 Newton force is being applied on the right hand side in different direction, and on the left hand side on the different direction. Okay, so the directions are different. That's why we get the same magnitude but different direction. That's why the force will be vector here. Okay, if one side you will get the positive force, the another side you will get the negative force, because the force depends upon the mass and acceleration, which we have already seen in the Newton's second law of motion, right? So now see this picture. Here a swimmer is swimming into the swimming pool, and while swimming she pushes the water backward side. Okay, and the reaction of that, as per the reaction of that, she moves to the further. Okay, so the swimmer is applying force on water and in backward side, and the water is applying force, okay, and because of the reaction force he is moving further, okay. So in this example you can see here a box is kept on the floor. So the box is applying some force on the floor due to its weight, right? So when it applies force on the floor, the floor also applies the same force on the box, okay, which is the reaction one, and which is completely opposite to the direction of the force applied by the box on the ground, okay. So here you can see that a gun and a bullet, okay. So why it happens when someone what we say um, fire a bullet from his gun, he feels a shock on his hand, okay. um, why it happens? It happens because of the reaction force applied by the gun, okay. Whenever a gunman fires a bullet, he feels a jerk on his shoulder, okay. So how that jerk comes? That jerk is because of the reaction. When the bullet moves with a very fast velocity in the forward direction, okay, it has some force, it has some energy in it, okay, and that energy applies the force in opposite direction, okay, which is felt by the gunman as in the form of jerk, which he can feel it in his shoulder, okay. So here also we can see the example of action and reaction, okay. Now let's move further. The next point is conservation of momentum, okay. So what is momentum? You have already seen it, that it is nothing but the product of mass and acceleration, right? So what is conservation of momentum means? Conservation of momentum means when two bodies act upon one another, their total momentum remains constant, provided no external force acting, okay. When two or more bodies act upon one another, जब दो बॉडीज एक दूसरे के ऊपर काम करते हैं, ठीक है, देन देयर टोटल मोमेंटम रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट, तो जो मोमेंटम मिलता है वो कांस्टेंट रहता है, ठीक है, प्रोवाइडेड नो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स एक्टिंग। बस केस यही है कि कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स किसी एक बॉडी पर काम नहीं कर रहा होना चाहिए, ठीक है। द लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम मीन्स वेन एवर अ बॉडी गेन्स मोमेंटम देन some other body must loses equal amount of momentum, okay. Again I'm repeating, when a body gains momentum, then some other body must lose an equal amount of momentum, okay. So this is law of momentum, that momentum can never be created nor be destroyed. As we have seen in energy, conservation of energy, what does it says? Energy can never be created nor be destroyed. In the same way, in case of momentum as well, momentum can never be created nor be destroyed, okay. So here we can see in accordance to the Newton's third law of motion, which says that action has equal and opposite reaction, okay. Why it happens that when a body loses a momentum, then another body gains that momentum, okay. So here someone is losing momentum and some other body is getting that momentum. How it happens? It happens just because of the Newton's third law of motion, which says that action and reaction are equal and opposite, okay. We will try to understand this in this example. Here you can see that a truck and a car are coming towards each other, okay, and when they both collide to each other, what happens? The truck remains at its position but the car moves further because of the collision, okay. And try to understand it one another time, that when a truck and a car are moving towards each other, okay, it happens in our general life also. The two different bodies comes and collide with each other. Then in that case, what happens? The body which has less mass, okay, moves further, and the body which has more mass remains at its own position. Why it happens? It happens because of the conservation of momentum. Here you can understand this in a better way. So momentum, as we all know, that it depends upon mass and acceleration. Okay. So when two bodies were moving towards each other, they both had some mass and acceleration, right? So both of them were applying some force to each other. But as soon as they collide, okay, the action and reaction force, both forces will be equal. But what is different over here? The different thing is the mass of both the bodies. The first body will have more inertia than the second body. So when two bodies which have different masses will collide with each other, the first body which has more mass will remain at its own position, but this another body which has less mass will move further. Okay, here we have the formula which says that total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, so it is not just a simple theory, we can understand it by the formula itself. We have a proper derivation for this law. That let us consider two bodies, okay, which have acceleration a1 and a2. Okay, so let us consider the body which has acceleration a2 is moving with the a1 is moving with the velocity v1. Okay, actually, look here, we are talking about the forces after the collision, right? So let us consider that two bodies, okay, which are moving in same direction but have different speeds or velocity. Let the mass of truck be m1 and its velocity be u1, so that initial momentum is m1 u1. Let the mass of the car be m2 and the velocity be u2, which is its initial velocity. Okay, so the momentum will be m2 u2, right? So the sum of the total momentum of both the bodies will be m1 u1 plus m2 u2, right? We have the momentum of both the bodies. The first body had the momentum m1 u1 and the second body has the momentum m2 u2. So when we add both of them, what will we get? m1 u1 is equal to m2 u2. Now suppose that the truck and car collide at a short time t. Okay, so let the velocity of truck after collision be v1 and the velocity of car after the collision will be v2. Okay, v1 and v2 are the final velocities which are after the collision. Okay, so the truck had final velocity v1 and the car had final velocity v2. So the momentum of truck after collision will be m1 v1 and the momentum of car after collision will be m2 v2, right? So the total momentum will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2 after the collision. Now what we need to do? We need to make both of them equal as it is given here. Okay, so how can we make both of them equal? Now the derivation part comes. Okay, so as we all know that acceleration a2 is equal to v2 minus u2 by t. Okay, a2 means the acceleration of the car. Okay, and so the force will be mass into acceleration. So F1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2 by t. Here m2, v2, u2 are the mass and velocities of car, okay, which is the second body. Now the after the collision, the acceleration of the another body will be a1 is equal to v1 minus u1 by t, which we have seen. So f2 will be m1 v1 minus u1 by t. So here we are talking about the force applied by the truck. So as per the Newton's third law, action force will be equal to the reaction force, which we have seen already. So but the direction will be opposite. Hence what will we get? We will get that f1 will be equal to minus f2, right? So because the force applied by the first body will be equal to the force applied by the second body, but the direction will be different. That's why f1 will be equal to minus f2. Okay, now we will bring both the formulas, like m2 v2 minus u2 by t is equal to m2 v1 by m1 v1 minus u1 by t. Okay, both will be equal as the forces are equal. So now time of the collision is same for both the bodies. That's why we will eliminate both of them. Now what will we get? We will get m2 v2 minus u2 is equal to minus m1 v1 minus u1. After solving this, okay, after equating this properly, what will you get? You will get m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Here m1 u1 is the momentum, is the m1 u1 is the force before the collision of the car, and m2 u2 is also the force applied by the truck before the collision, and m1 v1 is the force applied by the car after collision, and m2 v2 is the force applied by the truck after collision. So both have become equal. So that's why we can say that the total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Okay, here both the momentums are same, right? So the same is there in case of gun. Okay, gunfire, the bullet has some mass, and when we fire the bullet, what happens? It moves with some velocity, so it applies some force. The same way, the gun has some mass, and after the firing of the bullet applied some force on the gun, right? Due to which you felt the jerk. So we need to understand that the force applied by the bullet on the gun is equal to the force applied by the gun on the bullet. Okay, so the momentum of the bullet will be equal to the momentum of gun. Why? Because of the mass of bullet into mass of velocity. Velocity of bullet is equal to mass of gun into recoil velocity of the gun. Okay, look, every time mass plays a very important role, because if the mass will be more, then the body will be able to keep itself in proper position. Okay, if mass will be less, then body will move further. As we know that the moment in case of momentum, mass and acceleration both plays a very important role. So if mass will be more, then acceleration will be less, and mass will be less, then acceleration will be more. That's why the heavy object will have less acceleration and the lighter object will have more acceleration. That's why it happens that after collision of car and truck, the car moves further, the truck remains at its position, because it has more mass than the car. Okay, and as it has more mass than the car, that's why the truck remains at its own position than the car. Okay, because of the higher mass it will have less acceleration, and because of the lower mass of the car it will have more acceleration, right? So now we'll move further. Let's see the application of Newton's third law. Where do we apply the Newton's third law in our general life? Here, first, before going to that point, I would like to make you understand this example. All of you would have done this, that you have inflated a balloon, and after leaving it, you must have seen that the balloon moves further. Okay, as air blows back, the balloon moves further. How does balloon moves further? Because of the reaction force applied by the air, right? So the same application is worked in the case of the same is there in the working of the jet or aeroplanes. Okay, so in jet and aeroplanes, huge engines are there which burns fuel rapidly, and because of the burning of the fuel, huge amount of gases are created, okay, which they leave backward, and as soon as they leave that gas uh, backward, then because of the reaction, the aeroplane or the rocket moves further. Okay, it is just the push of the gas on the bike engine. Okay, so that's why um, here you can see the application of the third law of motion. Okay, now I think I've made everything clear to you. So before ending this video, I would like to show you this picture. Here you can see that a horse is pulling a cart. Okay, this image, after this image I'll ask you some questions. What are they? So you just think ki how is it possible for the horse to pull the cart if the same force is applied by the horse and the cart on each other. Okay, when we beat our hand on the wall, why do we get hurt? As the force applied by both of them are same, so why do we get hurt? Okay, then the second question is, how can a horse pull the cart if the cart is pulling the horse with the same force? Okay, if same force is applied by both the bodies, then the cart should remain at its position, right? Then how is it possible for the horse to pull that cart? And the third question is, why does a car get more damage than on collision with truck if both are applying the same force on each other? Okay, in our general life also we have seen this, that on a collision of a large vehicle to a small vehicle, the small vehicle suffers a huge damage than the large vehicle. How does it happen? So you just need to answer me all these questions which I have given to you. Okay, and then go for the chapter and make notes. Okay, so think about it. These questions are very important for you. Okay, and answer me all these questions. Okay, I am expecting the answers as soon as possible given by you, right? So this is all from me for today. Okay, so study well and have a good day.